Okay, so we have six trigonometric functions: sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant. How to abbreviate them? Sin, we say sine, cos, so we say cosine, tan, tangent, cot, cotangent, sec, secant, csec, cosecant. So these are the six trigonometric functions. How to define them? We use a right angle triangle, sine theta opposite over hypotenuse, cosine theta adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent theta opposite over adjacent. These are reciprocal functions, so we can say sine reciprocal is cosecant, C and S, please remember in this way. And cosine theta, secant theta, H over A, and cotangent theta, A over A. Just swap their, flip their sides. Okay. Now we have a question. There are six trigonometric functions. Value of one trigonometric function is given, and we have to find the other trigonometric functions. Find the values of all trigonometric functions from the given information. Find the values of all trigonometric functions if we are given cosine t equals 3 over 5 and t is in quadrant 1. Cosine t is equal to, and t is in quadrant number 1. Quadrant number 1. Make this number 3 over 5. 3 over 5. Okay. Tell me this value. I have written here plus. What does this mean? Does it make any sense? What?
That it should be positive.
No, I'm saying plus. Somewhere you find written plus. What does this mean? Yes? Multiply? Plus sign means multiply. Okay. Somewhere you see plus sign. What does this mean? Okay, now tell me. 2 plus 4 means what? 6. No, now you understand. So if two numbers are given and it is written between two numbers, then this is known as 6. And if you have 2 times 3, 6. But if you find somewhere only multiplication, it means nothing. It is meaningless. Same thing is here. If you see somewhere COS, cosine function, what does this mean? If you see somewhere COS only, it acts like plus sign, multiplication sign. But when you write something with this one, 30 degree, for example, it is meaningful now. And if you write sine 30 degrees, it is meaningful now. You can check on the calculator, this will give you a value 1 over 2. And this gives you square root 3 over 2. All different, by whatever value you can check on the calculator, you can find. So until some number is written with the functions, they have no value. They are just operations, functions. This multiplication is also a function. All these signs are functions, operations. These are new operations now. Just like you had plus, minus, multiplication, they are meaningless alone. These functions are meaningless alone until they have something written with them. Theta, cosine theta, tangent theta, sine 30, cosine 30. Now they are meaningful. They have some value. But without theta, they are just like plus, minus sign, which have no sense at all. Okay? So remember, students most of the times miss the angle and just write sine is equal to 1 over 2, for example. No, it has no sense. Sine, cosine have nose. If somebody has no nose, can you breathe without nose? No, nose is important. So this is a nose for any function. If it is not there, it means your statement is wrong. This thing, many of you will write like this, sine 1 over 2. No, this is meaningless, senseless. There is no sense at all. These are operations just like plus, minus, and multiplication signs. They are meaningful, its numbers are there. Okay, great. One more thing, we know in a circle, we have 4 quadrants. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. And all these trigonometric functions have their signs over there. This one, this is the first quadrant, you know. This is the second quadrant. This one is the third quadrant. And this is the fourth quadrant. When you draw a circle, I'm not writing over here. For example, you draw a circle like this. So there are 4 parts of the circle. The first one is known as the first quadrant. This is second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. But in practice, we are not going to draw the circle. I will be writing like this. And you know this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. How many trigonometric functions we have? 6. All 6 trigonometric functions have their signs. I mean their status. How many functions have status plus in this quadrant? I mean positive. 6 trigonometric functions. All trigonometric functions status in this quadrant is positive. All trigonometric functions are positive. So we say over here, all trigonometric functions are positive in this quadrant. What is the status of trigonometric function in second quadrant? There is sine. And what's the reciprocal of sine? Cosecant. They are interlinked with each other, please. So sine and cosecant in this quadrant, they have positive sign. Right, CSC. They are positive. What about the other 4 quadrant functions which are not there? They are negative, yes. And what about this quadrant number 3? Tangent and cotangent. Their status is positive in this quadrant. What about other functions? They are negative. In this quadrant, cosine and secant, their status is positive. The rest of all functions are negative in this quadrant. You got it? If you know all these things, you know trigonometry. You can do any question in the trigonometric functions in mathematics. Look at this one. This question is given. Find the values of all trigonometric functions if cosine t is equal to 3 over 5 and t is in which quadrant? Quadrant number 1. All trigonometric functions we need in quadrant number 1. Okay, if this is a quadrant 1, very good. We can draw quadrant over here. And this is a quadrant 1, and we know all trigonometric functions are positive over here. How to remember it? how to remember all S T C. How to say it?
All students take calculus.
All students take calculus. Okay. Anything else?
Just cast.
All students try cheating. All students take chocolates. All silver tea cups. So remember what is easy for you. So ASTC will give you a clue how to remember the sign of the trigonometric functions in different quadrants. Okay, we are given here cosine of t 3/5. What is the formula for this cosine? So CAH TOA. This is A/H. So it means if we are given cosine of t, which is 3/5, its formula is what? A/H. I mean adjacent is given and hypotenuse is given.
We need to find opposite.
We know triangle, a right angle triangle. So always put in right angle triangle this one. Angle T is over here. This is our opposite, this is hypotenuse, and this one is adjacent. Put the values there. Adjacent is 3, hypotenuse is 5. And how to find O?
Pythagorean theorem.
Any, yes. Any side like this is this number square 5 square minus 3 square is equal to 25 minus 9. 16, and 16 square root will give you 4. The missing side we always find. These are the legs. In case of legs, we always subtract from the square of hypotenuse. This is 5, so 5 square minus 3 square. And same is here, legs are calculated with the minus sign and hypotenuse is calculated by using plus sign. Now here, we know these trigonometric functions very well. Cosine is given and we have to find the remaining trigonometric functions. I write here functions in the same way every time I will be writing. Okay? So right over here, sine t, cosine t, tangent t. Okay? And if you want to write the formula, write down SHO TOA. Okay, great. This is the formula. What is the value for cosine? Cosine value is already given, which is 3/5. What about sine?
4/5.
Opposite, what is opposite over here? 4, h is 5, so 4/5. Very good. Tell me about tangent. TOA. So TOA, O-A,
Opposite
O,
to
O, 4/3. Very good. These are the values. Now, what is missing? We want to find cosecant, secant, and cotangent. Please write in front of them. So, I just erase this. Okay, now I write over here, its opposite is cosecant, secant, T, and this is cotangent T. T should be there, yes. Cosecant is reciprocal of this one. So what is the answer of this one? 5 over, just flip these numbers. And same do over here, 5 over 3. And what about the other? 3 over 4. And now we have to check the sign of these functions. We know we have a quadrant function. You know here, this is a first quadrant. All trigonometric functions are positive in this quadrant. And we calculate these values by arrays. So again, I draw here so you can note it down. We had this thing T, 90. This is hypotenuse, and this one is opposite. This is adjacent. And A was given 3, H was given 5, and O you calculated like this. I told you always this is a leg. Leg is calculated this number square, 5 square minus 3 square, which give you 25 minus 9, and which is 16 square root is equal to 4. I hope you understand this one. Now we have to look for the sign of these trigonometric functions. These ratios, these are known as trigonometric ratios now. When theta comes, they are functions. When there is nothing with them, they are just operations. When theta comes, they are trigonometric ratios now. Or you can say trigonometric functions, values of trigonometric functions. Basically, we are dealing with the trigonometric ratios. Trigonometric ratios. Okay? Any question? All are positive in first quadrant. All students try what? Okay. So you can see all are positive. So all are already positive. So no need to change the sign of them. Okay. Nobody like calculus, I think. So all students like chocolates. All of you like chocolates. Huh? Okay. So this is how you can find 6 trigonometric functions if one of the value is given. Always we draw a right angle triangle, put the values, find the missing side. If this is the leg, for the legs we minus that was there, and then put the values over here. Follow the same pattern, and this will help you find out values of all trigonometric functions. This is the whole lesson. Make a picture, please.
Should I send the picture in the group?
Yeah, you can see. Okay, students. Now we will work on this question. Cosine of t minus 4 over 5, and t is given between pi and 3 pi over 2. And remember, pi means 180 degrees. Okay, pi means 180 degrees. This is in radian, this is in degrees. When you divide both sides, what comes? Divide both sides by 2. So 90 is equal to pi over 2. Okay? 180 degree means pi in radian. Okay? So this is a conversion formula. From this, if you want to find the value of 90, how to find it? Divide by 2. Divide 180 by 2, this comes 90. Divide pi by 2, this comes pi over 2. So pi over 2 and 90 is the same thing. And if I multiply this by 3, what happens? 270. So this comes 3 pi over 2. I mean, if you multiply 90 by 3, 9 times 3, 27. So 270 degrees is equal to 3 pi over 2. And if we multiply 180 by 2, this gives you 360.
2 pi.
So this is 2 pi. So these are the main values, please remember. And if you want to find out 45 degrees, for example, you can divide this by 4. So this will give you 45 degrees. So pi over 4 will be 45. At the moment, just memorize these. So the basic formula is this one. 180 degrees mean pi. We have been given this question. The question is saying, find the values of all trigonometric functions if cosine of t is 34 over pi. This is always trouble giving. Ignore it. Okay? Ignore this sign always. No problem. We don't want this sign. If it is there, even let's ignore it. Now, this is a simple question, just like we did this one. So we have here 4 over 5. If we have cosine of t, use the small t, c. Cosine of t is equal to 4 over 5. For the time being, I am ignoring this sign. Make a triangle, same way. What is the formula for this one? Ka. So, ka, to, pa, ka. A over h. A over h. In a triangle, you know, opposite to 90 is hypotenuse. This is T, opposite to T is O, and this is adjacent. This is same in all questions. We write down here the value of A, which is 4, and H is 5. How to calculate this O? 5 square minus 4 square. So what comes? 25 minus 16. This gives you 9 square root, which is equal to 3. Now write down 6 trigonometric functions over here. Write down sine t, cosine t, tangent t. Its opposite, cosecant t, secant t, cotangent t. Sine is so, ka, to, ah. Okay, fine. I know it. That's good. Great. What is O? 3 over H, 5. It is already given. 4 over 5. And O over A, 3 over 4. I have different colors, don't worry. I separate them like this. Okay. And what about the cosecant? 5 over 3, excellent. And this is 5 over 4. And this one? 4 over 3. Is this our answer? No. Why?
Because it's still, and they want the answer in the third quadrant.
Yeah, look at here. There is a minus sign which we ignored in the beginning. We cannot ignore, but in the beginning we ignored. This minus sign defines in which quadrant our function is. It is given here, pi to 3 pi over 2. Pi means 180. This is pi. This is pi, and this is 3 pi over 2. So in between, this is our quadrant. We are in which quadrant? We are in quadrant number 3. So our quadrant is 3. And in this quadrant, you know, which functions are positive? Tangent and cotangent are positive in this one. There is no space, anyhow. I make it like this. So the sign for cosine is already given negative. So please put here negative sign. Only those two functions are positive. Which one? Tangent and cotangent. See, first do everything. Then for the sign, look for the quadrant and see which functions have positive sign in this quadrant. Only two functions have, except one. So these are positive, the rest of all are negative. This will be negative, this will be negative, and they are positive. This is your answer. Yes, any question? Okay, now I give you one question you will do yourself. This is sine t . Sine t is 1 over 3, and quadrant is, t is in quadrant number 2. T is in quadrant 2. Okay, go ahead, please do it. This quadrant, only the functions are positive, rest of quadrant is yeah. How the Okay, look here, students. We have sine of t equals 1 over 2, 3, and we know the formula for this one, SOCA, O over H. So this is O over H. With the help of this one, we shall calculate the third side. Put this information in triangle, please, always. This is 90 degrees. This angle is T. Opposite to T is O. This is H and this is A. From this you can take the value of O. O is equal to 1. So we are given this one. H is equal to 3. So this one is 3. We have to find the value of A, which is always square root of 3 square minus 1 square. You calculate 4 minus 1, which is radical 3. Okay, these are the texts by Pythagoras theorem. We can find the value of this side. Or directly we find over here. For any leg, these are known as legs of a triangle. So this number square minus this, you get this A. And second thing we are given over here, T is in second quadrant. We are here in second quadrant. Tell me the signs of the trigonometric function in the second quadrant.
Sine and cosecant are positive.
Here, sine and cosecant, these two functions are positive, rest of the functions are negative. Okay, now formula is very simple. Apply the SHO TOA and write the trigonometric ratios. Write over here, write all these functions in this order, will be easy for you to find out. Sine t, and we know sine is, so O over H must show here, then A over H, and write down this one while you're working. SHO TOA will help you to write the correct answers. Now put the values over here. Sine value is already given 1 over 3. So sine value A over H. A is over here, radical 3 over 3. Sorry. Any problem?
3 squared minus 1 squared.
So this is 9 minus 1, you mean? This is 9 minus 1, please correct it. Happy? Okay, how to write this 8? You can simplify this is 4 times 2 is equal to 2 radical 2, you know. So this way we can find out the value of A. A is 2 radical 2. So we can put this value here, 2 radical 2, without sign. Don't put any sign, just apply the formula over there. O over A. Where is O? This is A. So 1 over 2 radical 2. Place semicolon like this. We are separating and write down their corresponding functions, which are the reciprocal functions of this one. Cosecant is, sine is cosecant, T, and this one is secant, T, and this is cotangent of T. So we have to just swap their sides. Okay, solve them. This is 3 over 1. Simplify, which is 3. This is 3 over 2 radical 2. And this is 2 radical 2 over 1. This will remain the same. 2 radical 2. And here we have to simplify it. We don't want to see radical sign in the denominator. So how can we remove it? Rationalize it. 2 radical 2 over 2 radical 2. Multiply and divide by this one. Only radicals, no need of 2. Because radical, we want to get rid of this radical 2. So this gives you 3 radical 2 over 4. Okay. Now we have to look for the signs. First do it, forget the signs while you're working for the trigonometric functions. For the trigonometric functions, when I'm calculating these ratios, forget the quadrants. At the end, we look for the quadrant. In which quadrant we are working? We are in second quadrant. Which functions are positive? Sine and cosecant. They are positive. The rest of all functions are negative, so please change their sign. This will be minus, and this will be minus. This is minus. This is minus. That's all. Any question? Okay, students, now another question for you. Same question is, find all the values, find the values of all trigonometric functions. And here we are given tangent t equals 2. And quadrant is mentioned over here. T is between pi over 2 to 0. So pi over 2 to 0, pi over 2 is here 90 degrees. And this is 0. In which quadrant are we working? Quadrant number 1. So T angle is in quadrant number 1. In quadrant number 1, all trigonometric functions are positive. So here all trigonometric functions are positive. Good. Go ahead and write on T 2 over 1. You can put like this. And this one equals what? How to write tangent? SHO TOA. I want to see the SHO TOA on this board. Okay, SHO TOA, O over A this is. And always we need triangle for this one. And this is always H. T, this is O. This one is A. Put the values which are given and calculate the missing value. O is 2, A is 1. We have to calculate this one. And this is sum of squares of this one. So this one is 1 square plus 2 square, calculate 4 plus 1, 5, radical 5. I have seen it is easy if you work this way with a triangle. Write down all the functions here. Sine t, cosine t, tangent t, and base right there. Cosecant, secant, and go ahead. First quadrant, all are positive. All are positive. This is our answer. Is this the final answer? No. Why?
We need to rationalize the denominator.
We don't like radicals in the denominator. Oh, why? We want to see denominator free from radical sign. So no problem. We can write it like this. We can rationalize it. But first mention these values, okay? And then change into other form, which give you I write in green color. No, blue color. So this will be 2 radical 5 over 5, and this is radical 5 over 5, and this after simplification is 2, and this is the final answer. Any question? Okay, now I'm going to give you another question. Cosecant t is given. Cosecant t is given negative 3 over 2, and t is between 2 pi to 3 pi over 2. And this gives us quadrant, 2 pi being 360. 2 pi being 360 degrees. This is basically 360 degrees. And this is 270 degrees. So in radian, we will use the values in radian in future, please. And 270 is over here, 3 pi over 2 is over here. And when you take a complete rotation, this becomes 2 pi. So we are working in this quadrant. Which functions are positive in this quadrant? Okay. So rest of functions are negative there. So find that all trigonometric functions ratios, please. Go ahead. How to write cosecant? Yeah, this is a question. Minus sign is there. For the time being, we can ignore it. Don't mind, we are going to ignore you. Okay, don't mind, please. Be happy. We will back to you. Okay? Cosecant. How to write cosecant? How can you flip it? If you flip it, what happens? Sine. So with the help of this one, can I write the value of sine function? What is sine t? 2 over 3. Keep the sign. But we are ignoring while we are calculating the function value. Because if we have a sine and cosine and tangent, we can easily put the values in the triangle, right triangle. Make this triangle here, please. This is t, and this gives you what? Don't mind here. We are with you, but later. This is O over H. Yes, this is O, this is H, this is A. Calculate the remaining missing value, please. Why are you ignoring me? We are not ignoring you. Okay, don't forget me. Okay, we are not going to forget you. We shall deal you at the end. Please be happy. Okay, go ahead for this one now. 2, H is 3, and how can you calculate this value?
Master, I have a question.
Yes,
Are these the only types of questions in this lesson, or is there something else that we need to find?
this type of questions.
So they don't need us to find the angle or anything else?
We have to.
Oh, but not in this lesson. Okay.
You know them yourself.
Okay.
I will explain after this. This is the main topic, basically. Okay, calculate it. 3 square minus 2 square, 9 minus 4, radical 5. Sine, cosine, cosecant already given, so I write here only the remaining one. Cosine t, tangent t. A over H, O over A, very good. What is A? Radical 5 over 3, and this is 2 over radical 5, excellent. And then right over here, other the reciprocal. Secant t, cotangent of t. This will be radical 5, over 2, 3 over radical 5. We don't like radical sign in the denominator, so where you find radical sign, please change them. And same we do here. And this gives you 3 radical 5 over 5. Now, we are in quadrant number 4. In quadrant 4, we know cosine and secant are positive, rest of are negative. They are already negative. We are back to you, okay? These both are negative, it's okay. And what about this one, tangent? Tangent is negative as well. So just change the sign. So at the end, please ensure that you are putting the correct sign with them. That's all. Any question? Thank you very much.